Hey guys, back by popular demand, Classroom 13, the last book of our series. This one is called The Fantastic and Terrible Fame of Classroom 13. Now, Madeline is here. Do you want to say hi? Okay. Because she's still up. Wave hi. You gonna help Mommy read?
Hi.
Hi. All right, here we go. I will read 2 chapters for you today. You gonna help me read? Okay. Chapter 1, Unfamous Miss Linda. When not famous school teacher Miss Linda Lacrosse woke up Monday morning, she decided it would be another boring day. Little did she know how wrong she was. First, she had been up late grading papers and forgotten to set her alarm. Miss Linda didn't realize it until her cat bit her nose and woke her up. "I'm going to be late again," she said. Second, she put her right shoe on her left foot and her left shoe on her right foot. Then, she brushed her hair, put on her clothes, and hopped in the shower. As she rushed to school, she wondered why she was soaking wet. You might think Miss Linda was quite silly and should be famous, but she was not. Not anymore. Miss Linda is not a pop star or a TV actress or a soccer player or a famous writer. Like me, honestly. What's that? Yes, I am too famous. But Miss Linda is related to someone who knows a lot of famous people. Her cousin Lucy LaRoe, who is a very famous agent who works in the Ace Agent Agency in Hollywood. What's an agent? Well, agents are the people who represent pop stars and TV actresses and soccer players and famous writers. They help them get work and help them stay famous. They also charge a great deal of money for their services. Make a mental note, as this will be important later. "Miss Linda, you are late again," said the principal. His arms were crossed, and he was tapping his shoe against the floor tiles. I know, Miss Linda said. She ran past him and straight to her class. As you might know, the students of the 13th classroom can be quite a handful, and so Miss Linda expected them to be causing trouble. Instead, she found them all sitting quietly, listening to a story told by someone sitting on her desk. And so I said, "Don't you dare! And do you know what Ted Bears did? He ate the entire tarantula." The whole class laughed. "Though bears prefer honey, I suppose one would eat a spider," Miss Linda said. "How is that funny?" "No, Miss Linda," said T.O. 10 Bears isn't an actual bear. He's a human boy, and he's famous. I want to be just like him." "What's he famous for?" Miss Linda asked. "For being on the internet," T.O. said. "But what is he famous for?" Miss Linda asked. "What does he do?" "He makes videos on the internet," T.O. said. "I don't understand this generation," Miss Linda said. "And that's why you're not a famous agent like me," said Lucy LaRoe, famous agent of Ace Agent Agency. "Lucy, what are you doing here?" Miss Linda said, surprised to see her cousin outside of Hollywood. "Well, my boss said we needed more kid stars, and I thought to myself, where do I find... where do I find a bunch of children?"
No,
Hold on, I'm reading.
No, what?
So here I am. I plan...
And wait.
You draw. Mommy read. "You work with children, so here I am. I plan to make all these kids famous." The students in Miss Linda's class... Please stop. Mommy's trying to read to the kids.
No.
Can you help me?
No, wait. Wait.
All right, let me see. Here's your book. The students in Miss Linda's class screamed with glee, except for Una. She had no interest in being famous. Of Miss Linda's 27 students, 26 of them were present. Not so surprisingly, Santiago was out again. He wasn't exactly sick, but his mom insisted he go to the hospital just because one of his fingers fell off his hand. He didn't think it was a big deal, but his mother quite disagreed. Of the 26 students who were in class, 25 of them were paying attention to the famous agent who worked at Ace Agent Agency. They never paid this much attention to Miss Linda. She crossed her arms. Lucy, this is a classroom, Miss Linda said. You can't just walk in here and distract my students. They're here to learn, not become famous. Can't we do both? Ava asked. I don't know, Miss Linda answered. You don't want to hold them back, do you? Lucy asked. Just because your 15 minutes of fame didn't work out. Miss Linda was famous? Jade and Jason asked, shocked. For what? Asked Chloe. She hasn't told you? Lucy asked. Well, let me fill you in. Chapter 2. Infamous Miss Linda. Once upon a time, little Linda Lacrosse was at the same age as her students. And more than anything, she loved to sing. She sang when she did her chores. She sang when she brushed her teeth. She even sang when she slept. One day, her family went for a visit to Hollywood, and an agent heard her singing. What a beautiful singing voice you have, he said. I'm certain I can make you an opera star.
Oh no,
It'll come back. And he did. Little Linda Lacrosse became quite famous. She sang at very important opera houses all around the world. She even got a singing coach. This coach pushed her to sing harder and deeper and higher. Turned out little Linda Lacrosse could sing so high that it made glass break. Well, at the peak of her fame, she was sent to Beijing, China to sing at the National Grand Theater, which was made entirely of glass. Her coach kept telling her, you have to sing harder and deeper and higher than ever before. And so she did. And the entire opera house shattered. And that was the end of Miss Linda's singing career, Lucy explained, finishing her story. That's wonderful, said Liam. That's horrible, said Ximena. I think it's neat, said Lily. The famous painter Andy Warhol once said, in the future, everyone will be world famous for 15 minutes. And that was my 15 minutes of fame, said Miss Linda. Sometimes being famous can quickly lead to being infamous. Isn't that the same thing? William asked. Not at all, Miss Linda said. Famous means being known for something good. Infamous means being known for something bad. It's better to be infamous than not famous at all, said Priya. Oh, I quite disagree, Miss Linda said. I'm still not allowed back to China after what I did. Enough talking about you, Lucy LaRue said. It's time to make these children celebrities. I don't think that's a good idea, Miss Linda said to her cousin. On the contrary, Lucy smiled. You just said in the future everyone would be famous for 15 minutes. Well, the future is now. Who wants to be famous? The entire class, except Yuna, cheered and shouted with excitement. Fantastic! All of you step right up and sign this contract that makes you my servants. Me, your agent, and we'll get started on making each of you famous. What's the contract say? Miss Linda asked her cousin. She tried to read the fine print, but it was itsy-bitsy teeny tiny. Don't worry about it, Lucy snapped. Miss Linda begged the students not to sign the contracts, but as students often do with their teachers, no one listened. Chapter 3 and 4 will come at you tomorrow. See ya!